And welcome to MJ Peak Performance. My name is Jennifer. I'm one of the coaches here, and we like to talk all things about leadership, performance, and entrepreneur. I love the brain. I've always been interested in it, so I'm going to share some neuroscience-informed information with you guys throughout the channel. We're going to share some leadership tips, all this kind of things. But today's video is all about 5 performance patterns that you're probably experiencing in the morning and things that we can do to go ahead and help you get out of these stuck patterns, break you out of autopilot, and have your brain start working with you. The first pattern we're going to talk about is the pressure primed mind. Now, this is when you wake up and you're already feeling the pressure of the day, the pressures from yesterday. You're kind of in an urgency mode. Things are stressful, and you're really just thinking about everything that can go wrong today, tomorrow, and your brain is just consistently thinking about things that aren't going right. Now, this can be an issue because if you're doing this, you're wiring your brain to continue to look for problems. And we don't need to look for problems, right? Because they kind of find us sometimes. But there is something we can do, and that is to rewire our brains to search for opportunities. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. First, let's talk about the second performance pattern that you can be experiencing. This is the autopilot achiever, and this is where your mind is on autopilot right away. You don't even have really too much thinking going on when you wake up. You just do things by habit. And this can be kind of like computer programming. So think about it. If you have a program running on your computer or on your cell phone, it's going to run without instructions. It's already there. Or by past programming, it is already running. So that is kind of how your brain is working when it's on autopilot. You're running off of old programming where you don't even have to put any brain power into it, and you're not really living per se. You're more just on autopilot, experiencing the same thing over and over and over again. And this is something that you're going to want to break so that you can experience fulfillment with your success and really start living and enjoying your day and not living on Groundhog Day. The next performance pattern is the overloaded decision maker. Now you're waking up already thinking of all the things you need to decide on. You're thinking about what's going on in the day, what you need to solve. You're kind of coming at it from a problem-solving kind of overthinking mind. So it's not the most productive, but it feels productive in the moment. But you're waking up and you're already feeling depleted and not really looking forward to your day. And we don't want to stay here. Like, we want to find ways to get out of that to where we're thinking about things, again, that bring us opportunities and not problems or worries. Next, we're going to talk about the under-supported strategist. You are absolutely brilliant. You are self-reliant, and you've been doing this on your own for a long time. However, you're not very supported in other areas, and this can really wear you down because we can only use our brain power for so long. We're going to want to also tap into some brain hacks and some techniques that can help our brain work with us and function for us, and we're just not using all of our brain power. Our brains like to use the least brain power they can. So when you learn some of these techniques and tools, it's going to help you to lose that self-reliance on just overthinking and overpowering and really focus more on techniques that help work with you and help you live more in a flow state and tap into your natural abilities with the support of the tools and techniques. The last performance pattern that we're going to talk about today is the reward depleted performer. Now, this is somebody who is a high achiever. They've really achieved all their goals, and they achieve everything they put their mind to. These are the people you see that are just crushing it in everything they do. But in this pattern, they are feeling like little reward is coming to them. Nothing's bringing them joy anymore. Not like when they first started, not when they planned it out and they started their dream and they had this sense of fulfillment and joy. Now, when they reached their goals, they didn't get the feeling that they thought they would get of feeling that joy and the fulfillment. So this is another one of those patterns that can keep us stuck, and we really wake up feeling that way. So if you're in this pattern, you're waking up and you're not feeling a lot of joy, you're not looking forward to your success, it's just another day down, and this is another sense of Groundhog Day, and really all these patterns can keep you in Groundhog Day and experiencing the same thing and keeping you on autopilot. So now that we've talked about the 5 performance patterns that are keeping you stuck, I want to talk about 3 things that you can do that are neuroscience informed to help break you out of that autopilot and break these patterns so that you are not just succeeding on paper and looking like you're successful to everybody else, but you're feeling it in the inside too. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to name whatever emotion you're feeling. Now, as people, sometimes we can really tuck those feelings down deep inside and we're not going to feel them. We're not going to own them and we're just going to keep going because sometimes that makes us feel like we're achieving better. But honestly, I tried that for a long time. And then at some point it came out in panic attacks years ago. And that's something you don't want to do. So I like to look at that as like a teapot. Like it just steams and steams and steams until it just starts doing its whistling because it can't do it anymore. So we're going to stop that right away. We're going to name the emotion we're feeling, whether it's stress, whether we're angry, whether we're sad. We're going to give it a name so that way our brain can connect it and be like, this is an emotion that I can work through. And by the way, emotions are nothing to be ashamed of. We all feel them. That doesn't mean that's who you are. So if you have an angry day, you're not an angry person. If you have a sad day, that's not saying you're a sad person. You are feeling your energy in motion, which is emotions, and that is completely normal. So when you're feeling these emotions, particularly hard on one day and it feels really heavy, you're going to go ahead and give it a name. You're going to say, okay, I'm feeling a little anxious. So now I have the name. Your brain's going to kick in and be like, okay, so this is an emotion I'm feeling. It's going to process it and it's going to give you permission really to go ahead and work through it instead of trying to avoid it, because what we resist persists. The next thing we're going to talk about is setting short-term goals. Now, the reason why this is important is because when you're setting these goals and you're reaching them, you're actually building up dopamine in your brain. So you're creating a reward system. So once you hit these little goals, you're going to create a reward system in your brain, and your brain's going to be like, oh, I want more of this. So it's really building the momentum for you to keep going, keep working through, and helping you to break the patterns of performance by saying, hey, I don't have to be the overachiever. I don't have to be stuck on stress, and I don't have to be stuck on autopilot. I can do these goals, be me, achieve them, and get the response, the reward response that we're all looking for. Now, the third one is my favorite one, and it's something that I personally use, and I love it as a hypnotherapist. Of course, I'm going to tell you about this, and it is rewiring your brain to work for you through different things such as visualization, meditation, and affirmations, journaling, whatever works for you. And it does feel really weird at first when you're doing it. Like you're journaling on things that you want, or you're journaling out your emotions, or you're seeing these affirmations and they don't feel real, right? But this is completely normal because your brain has been rewired or has been wired in a certain way that it is used to that. So a little visual I like to look at or think about the brain is it's a jungle. The path that your brain is going to take is going to be the one that you've used the longest. That becomes the strongest. So think of it as a clear path through a very dense jungle. So now you're clearing a new neural pathway for your brain to think, and your thinking patterns go that way. So think about it as trimming. You're trimming your brain to work for you. So when you're doing these kinds of things, it is going to physically rewire your brain and really change your reality. So some examples that you can do is just, you can really just do this for 2 minutes a day. Wake up, visualize real quick, get into the emotions, and really feel the emotions of your visualization as if it has already been achieved. And same with your affirmations. Something I like to do is mirror work. So I like to say my affirmations in front of the mirror, stare at myself, give myself some self-love, and give myself the validation so I don't need to get it from anybody else throughout the day. So I just went over 5 performance patterns that you can be experiencing as a high achiever, a leader, an entrepreneur, and then we went over 3 things that you can do to go ahead and break those patterns and start living your life full of fulfillment and off of autopilot. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my plug in. We have a free guide that I'm going to go ahead and link below, and it's called the Reset Guide, and it's 3 things that you can do to help your nervous system calm so you're open to receive. And then we're also offering free consultations. I really want to see you there. It's a great ROI. So I will link that in the comment or show notes below as well. So let me know what you think about this video. Go ahead and try some of these things. Come back and comment. And then if you have any questions, let me know. And I will see you in the next video.